Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to this week's new makeup releases where we are going to chat about the new makeup that's been released, announced and sneak peeked, and I am going to let you know whether or not I want to pick these things up, whether or not I already did. I don't think I did. I don't think I picked any of these things up, and we're just going to chat about the new makeup because I love talking about new makeup. I still love makeup. I still love experimenting. As you can see with this eye look right here, I'll talk about this in just a second. And if you love just having fun with makeup as well, just not taking it too serious, just playing around and just enjoying it, don't forget to subscribe before you leave because I do upload quite a lot of videos every week. And yeah, I did film this look for my member exclusive tutorial this month. I'm doing something Jessica Rabbit inspired. It's not the kind of eye shape that really fits my eye, but I just wanted to talk about techniques and I wanted to talk about changing something up to fit you better. You know, when you look at an eye look and you're like, oh, I love that, and just dissecting it. What do I like about it? What can I change to fit my eye shape and stuff like that? Those are some of the things that we're going to be talking about in this member exclusive tutorial. And if you're not a member on my channel, you can check the membership out down below. There is a button next to the subscription button. There's also a link in the description box where you can check out what the membership is all about. I do have over 30 member exclusive in-depth tutorials all about techniques and colors and color combinations and just all of those things. So if you're interested in that, that's down below. You also get member exclusive emojis, and if you are tier 2 or tier 3, we also have member exclusive Zoom calls once a month where we sit down for a couple of hours and just discuss life. So let me scoochie and let's go in and see what the news are. I feel like there is a couple of really interesting things going on this month. I wanted to quickly talk about here it is. The Ace Beauté new palettes. I did talk about them last week, but they hadn't announced them as my video went live. But now we're able to see them, the Floral collection. I did do a full video on these. I swatched all of the palettes and I did one eye look with each palette. And I divided the video up so that you can see, like, if you want to go back and forth or you want to come back and see something again. I did like some chapters so that you can easily jump around in the video if you're interested in that. This collection is available now, and if you use my discount code Angelica, you will get 10% off these palettes. I love Ace Beauté's eyeshadow formula. I think they make one of my favorite formulas. I have a bunch of favorite formulas. People are asking me to do a video, but like, all you have to do is just look at my palette ranking from last year. Those are my favorite formulas. That's where I'm at. There's a bunch of formulas that I love, and sometimes I love them for different reasons, but I really do enjoy those palettes from Ace Beauté. I think they're really pretty, and I am actually traveling in a little bit, and I think I will be bringing one of those palettes with me on the trip. I think I'm gonna film tomorrow a get ready with me, chatting a little bit about my upcoming trip, because I think a lot of you, it's been buzzing amongst a lot of influencers, so I think I will be filming that and putting that on my channel because I want to chat. I want to chat so bad. Another thing that I have it downstairs. Maybe I should have brought it up here, but it's the new bronzers from Eldridge Cosmetics, and I probably will be bringing these into my chat get ready with me, just talking about, you know, a little life update, upcoming travels and stuff like that, because I actually have 4 trips planned. I have 4 trips planned and I'm so excited. Some of them work trips, one of them is just, we'll talk about it in the video. But these are the Infinity bronzers. They're $34 each, and I know the brand sent me 2 of them. I'm not 100% sure if they sent me the 2 lightest or if they sent me the 2 middle ones, but I have 2 of them downstairs, and I do think that shade number 2 seems to be a good shade for me. And since I have 2 of them, I'm fairly sure that I have number 2 down there. I would be very surprised if they sent me number 3 and 4. I don't think that that's happened. So I think number 2 will be a good one for me. So I definitely will be trying that one out. It is a vegan and cruelty-free formula designed in Sweden, made in Italy. It has a low to medium buildable coverage, and it can be used all over face and body. Very nice, creamy, soft texture. Melts into the skin, warm glow. Ooh. Oh, wait. And it has some oils in it. Okay. Maybe this will be a little bit more similar, because I looked at it briefly. It didn't look shimmery, but if it has oils in it, it can have a similar, like, smooth texture as the Kosas one. So that's interesting. We will definitely be trying it out. It is available now. I will link it down below. Another thing that is available right now that is out for delivery. This one is up for delivery. I'm getting it today, and it is the new Violet collection, Lavender, my bad, Lavender collection by Colourpop, and it is called the Lavish collection. It did launch yesterday, and you can use my discount code Angelica to get some money off at Colourpop. But yeah, I have a package delivery it's out for delivery today from Colourpop, and I would be wildly confused if it's anything but this one. I love the monochromatic palettes from Colourpop. Not all of them are created equal, and not all of them have a great color story, but something that I love from Colourpop, and I have been saying this for a really long time, and I thought that I was the only one, but apparently other people agree with me. I love their mattes with like shimmer in it. I think they're beautiful lid shades, beautiful inner corner shades, and when they do those as pastels, especially when they put them into monochromatic palettes like this, it just instantly makes the palette a hit. I used yesterday when I did look, I brought out a palette that has one of those matte ones with shimmer in it to use in my inner corner, and this one has a lavender one, and it looks so pretty. So it has only cool toned, more lavender shades, and it goes from that really light pastel with some shimmer in it. It's a matte with shimmer, and then it has one really dark, almost grayish brownish purple, very cool, and then one more darker cool tone purple. And I think you could probably use either one of those as an outer corner shade if you wanted to, depending on how dark you want to go. And then there are a couple of shimmers, and then there is one dark shimmer, one mid-tone shimmer, and one lighter shimmer. I think it looks really pretty. There is two more taupey shades in here. Like I said, they're not necessarily purple, but they go with the theme, and this is when I really like the Colourpop monochromatic palettes, when they allow themselves to just think a little bit outside of the box. It doesn't have to be only lavenders. Remember they did that super good, like, it was like a lime palette. What was it called? It was so good. I'll pop it up. I loved it. I loved it so much because that one had some like greeny browns in there as well, and just complemented everything like together, because it wasn't only lime greens. It had some shades that went with it as well, and when you put it together, it does look like a monochromatic green palette. But if you were to lift any of those shades out of the palette, same with this like lavender palette, if you were to lift any of the shades out of the palette, you wouldn't describe it as a purple, but they just go with the theme, and I love when they do that. I really wish that they would like just get that lime palette back in stock. It was such a pretty palette. I don't know why they discontinued. Maybe the pigments are no longer available, but that was a beautiful one. The only thing that I will say when I look at this palette, it does look like it has one more glittery shade. They have changed their formula with the glitters so that they are more, well, this says pressed powder palette, so it might actually be a pressed glitter. I don't love pressed glitters. I think for me, I've realized one of the reasons why I don't like pressed glitters is I think that the glitter, no matter what I do, it travels. And glitter glues doesn't work on me. It just creases even worse. So I feel like I get the glitter that moves, and I feel like it, since I have a lot of hood in here, you can't see it because I've been covering it up with this cut crease, glitters get stuck in that little fold, and it becomes itchy. So I don't like the feeling of it. I like the look of it, I just don't like the feeling of it. So I wouldn't use that shade, but I think some of these other shades look really beautiful. Let me know if you would like me to use this palette. Maybe I can, oh, I was even saying I was filming a get ready with me. Maybe I'll use this palette, because there's also some glassy lips in here, and I do like those. Maybe, you know what, because I'm filming the get ready with me tomorrow, I'll use this palette, unless something very weird happens. I'll use this palette. I think it's gonna be a good time. I will link it down below. It is available now. Wow, that was a long-winded answer to be like describing that one. Okay, let's talk about something that I am interested in, but I don't want to order it from the Natasha Denona website, which is her new concealers. I want to wait until it come into retailer. You know what I want to do? I want to walk into a retailer. I feel like I haven't been inside like an Ulta in months. Oh, is that male? Did you hear my dog in the background? She's a guard dog. She's honestly the worst guard dog because she's barking and then her tail is going like this. It's not so much her guarding as it is her being excited about people coming over. So this concealer is the Hy-Glam concealer. It comes in 50 shades, and I know some of these shades have a different color on the cap, and it's because they're corrector shades. I think it's really cool that she's coming up with some corrector shades as well at the same time, because I know a lot of people are looking for that either in combination with a concealer or instead of a concealer. So this is a hybrid full glam concealer, features high-tech active ingredients that work instantly and over time to brighten dark circles, reduce puffiness, and blur fine lines. Natural build medium, wait. Creaseless concealer with a natural medium buildable coverage. Okay, so a medium to buildable luminous matte finish. I'm guessing it's going to be like the Huda Beauty, which is a matte but not flat finish. Made with biomimetic pigments, blah, 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 blah. Airbrush result, flexible feel. See, this is what I'm loving. I'm wondering if this is going to feel like the Huda Beauty concealer, because that one is great, the faux filter one. So I'm definitely going to be trying this out, and I'm going to see if it lives up to all of its claims. It is available now, and apparently it's already dropped in Europe as well at retailers, but it is available on the Ulta and the Sephora website. I will link it down below, and you can like check out the shades and everything. I think it's coming on, what day is this? I think it's actually dropping today. I've heard rumors that it's dropping today on the 28th. Nars is dropping a liquid blush, and I've seen a lot of people be really excited about this. This is the Afterglow liquid blush, and it comes in 6 different shades. And when I watched this, I was like, this is cool, and I love that it's the doe foot applicator instead. I think it makes it very easy to distribute. I know those poofs are very popular right now, and I did a video on that as well. I don't mind a poof. I actually like a poof, but I do think that sometimes just having a doe foot just makes precision easier, especially if it's a pigmented formula. What I will say about these is that I looked at some of the pictures when they were using them as on models, and it looked very sheer. So I'm wondering a little bit what kind of a formula this is going to be. I am not going to be blind buying this. I don't need any more liquid blushes, and I also didn't think that any of these colors were perfect for me. What I will say is that there is a lilac blush here. I think this is the first time that I have seen a cool tone purple liquid blush, at least within like the mainstream brand. So if that is something that you're interested in, that is available in this range. But I feel like this is one that I either need to see some reviews or some try-ons, or I need to see it in real life, because if it is super sheer, you know, as sheer as the colors from, what is that serum blush that Colourpop has that just applies sticky and thick like a lip gloss and has about the same opacity as a lip gloss without any color as well, then I'm not interested. But I do like this idea and I like the packaging. It's just, I'm not sold. It's for someone else. Another liquid product, and this is a liquid highlighter from Gucci, and this is the Illuminateur de Beauté. I hope I'm saying that correctly. It seems to be available in Canada because I see the price here in Canadian dollars. So it is 62 Canadian dollars, and it is their first liquid face highlighter, ultra fine luminous pearls and black rose extract. It's available in Canada and in France. So I'm guessing it's coming to the US soon. I think the packaging is really pretty. It's very Gucci. I honestly really appreciate the way that they're doing their packaging for their makeup. It's very luxurious, but at the same time keeping a little bit of the somewhat kookiness that Gucci has been known for these past years. So I do appreciate how the packaging looks. But with that being said, I have a bunch of liquid highlighters that I really enjoy, and I even have a bunch of like high-end and a bunch of affordables. I'm wearing one of the ones that I was raving about in the poof makeup video. This is the Goddess Glow Cream Highlighter from Revolution Pro in a glow. I'm wearing this today together with the blush that I was talking about, and I think it looks great on the skin. I think this is my favorite like drugstore alternative. Like if you get this, you definitely don't need to get the more expensive one. I think that these are better than the e.l.f. ones. And since I have so many liquid highlighters that I love, there's definitely no reason for me to go out and buy a, from what I can see, kind of basic Goldie Peach one from a luxurious brand. I don't need to be the one reviewing that. Another luxury makeup item that is coming, and this is from Valentino Beauty. I still have not tried Valentino Beauty, and I can't decide if it's a shame or if I'm like just dodging a bullet. And I'm not saying because I think it's bad, but I've heard so many people loving Valentino Beauty, so I'm feeling like if I try the brand and fall in love, is that going to be like an expensive brand where I feel like I want to try more? So maybe I'm dodging a bullet, like my wallet, my debit card is dodging a bullet by not trying this brand. But this picture here of their new liquid lipsticks, look at that orangey brown and try your very best to talk me out of that one. I dare you. Listen, you get a cookie if you get to try to talk me out of that one. So I think if this lipstick does indeed have that color, I will be trying it. It's coming soon. I don't have any more info, but that color, the orangey mid-tone brown, that's a color that I like, that I enjoy. So I think if it does indeed look like that when it's being released, I think that will be the one. But sometimes these shades, when it's being released, they end up being either... Usually it's that they're darker than I want. I want them to be not a dark brown terracotta. I want it to be like a light brown or a medium brown terracotta. So we'll see where this lands. Oh, speaking of concealers, Tarte Cosmetics launched their Shape Tape Radiant Concealer, and I don't know what possessed them to release I think this is the 4th version of a Shape Tape concealer that they released. Because they released that ultra creamy one that I hated, because I thought that one is ultra creamy, and it is so ultra creamy that it just looks heavy and cakey under my eyes. It just sat weird. I literally, there is footage of me online tossing that concealer across the room because it frustrated me so much. I absolutely despised that concealer. I did not like it at all. I know others do, but it's definitely not for me. If you like a lightweight concealer, one that feels light under your eyes, that's definitely not for you. I actually prefer the original Shape Tape over that one. And then they had that one that was like more brightening, almost illuminating, almost like the Touche Eclat by YSL. And now they're releasing another one, and I don't want to say like why, because like maybe this is something that needed to be done, but it says it is a medium coverage radiant no makeup finish. So I'm guessing that this is their not so much plaster finish of the Shape Tape, which I think is a good idea to release, but I don't know if it needs to be released under the Shape Tape brand, or maybe it does need to be released under the Shape Tape brand because that is their, I'm guessing, best-selling part of the Tarte brand still. These are $31 each, 37 shades, including a pure white shade, and you can also see with this picture that they do go quite dark in the shade range. They are available now. I will say medium coverage, radiant, no makeup finish. I do like a medium coverage concealer. I think that sometimes a medium coverage concealer looks better than a full coverage concealer, because I think that sometimes when you do a non-full coverage foundation and then just a full coverage concealer, I think it sometimes can look a little unnatural, and I would rather have me look like me with the medium coverage concealer. But I also know that everyone has different makeup preferences, and I know that some people look at all the makeup I do and think it's horrible, so I'm not out here judging anyone. But I will say that when I see medium coverage concealer, it actually makes me a little excited, so maybe I will be picking this one up. Do you think this one is coming to Ulta too then? Because I think Shape Tape is like an Ulta exclusive in the US. See, I need to go to Ulta. Now I just need to convince my husband. Ooh, there's been some new things released from BH Cosmetics. Thank you so much, you who sent me links to this. I am super excited. I actually sent this to an account as well, just letting them know. So they put this could have been a little self-serving. Sometimes I see news and I send it to makeup accounts online, hoping that they will do a collage for me. But also like helping them with news, but like help me help you so you can help me. You know, I scratch your back, you scratch... No? Okay, I'll see myself out. But this is BH Cosmetics summer items, and they are coming out with some other things as well than eyeshadow palettes. Don't get me wrong, I would love to see BH Cosmetics release another eyeshadow palette, but I'm also excited to see this, and I hope that this is going to be part of the range. Single highlighters, single bronzers, single blushes. There's also a quad with face product. There are lip oils, and... what is that one? Brow gel, fix brow glue, cream bronzer. Okay, I need to make an order. Now? Do I need to make an order now? Maybe. But yeah, I will definitely be trying this out. Like, there's no way that I'm not trying this. It's happening. It's not available in the US yet. These are available right now in the EU, but as soon as they're coming to the US, this bitch is picking up pretty much all of it. Oh, we are finally able to see some of the new things that are coming out from this second collab between Glamlite and Scooby-Doo, and this is going to be more based on all of the characters of the show instead of just being more Halloween themed that it was last time. And the first thing that we have seen is a blush duo with like a bright coral and a bright pink. I would love for them to do something else than a bright blush next time, and I would also love to see them do some of their own ideas. I understand that they're probably making a butt ton of money doing collabs, but like they did so many good products on their own as well. I really do wish that we will be able to see some of those as well, because I don't want Glamlite to become Hip Dot. Even though they're probably making a lot of money. Am I really out here telling people that they shouldn't be making money? I'm just saying I love Glamlite. I love Glamlite's formula. I have a code with Glamlite. It is Angelica, and I am very excited about this. But I also love some of the things that Glamlite has done on their own, and I just hope that it doesn't disappear for forever. This is a blush duo, and there's gonna be more things. This is launching on the 30th. Which is very soon. And yeah, like I said, you can use my code Angelica and you will get 15% off anything at Glamlite. Oh, and they're also saying this collection will be very exclusive and limited edition, available for purchase for only 4 weeks. Okay, so I will say, I don't like when brands do like limited edition and create like a scarcity mindset, but I do appreciate when a brand is very upfront and honest and saying, hey, heads up, this will only be available for this amount of time. I will say I do appreciate that. So now you know. So if you want this collection, don't wait too long. There is another palette coming from Bella Beauté Bar, and I did talk about the pastel palette a while ago, and I did do a look in a video and do some swatches in case you're interested in that. And they're coming up with another one of these bigger palettes, and this is the Smokey Glam, and it's coming up early May. And you can use my code Angelica over at Bella Beauté Bar as well. And this is a neutral palette that's more my type of a neutral palette. Color wise, I do wish it was smaller. I understand that she's experimenting with different sizes, and I say this often on my channel. Every time I say I wish I had a smaller palette, there are always people saying like, no, I love these big palettes, because there are people that truly only want to buy bigger palettes. And I do think that the shades that are in here are the kind of shades that I love in a neutral palette, like the olivey greens, the peaches, the berries. There's a really nice selection of some like blackish shades as well. I do think that just looking at this, that I'm gonna enjoy the color story, but I always will be rooting for a smaller palette. But I just wanted to let you know, if you are eyeing that pastel palette and you like the quality of it, because the quality was great, but you kind of wanted something a little different of a color story, she has another one coming soon. We've been able to see more of the shades from the Kyla Cosmetics lipstick formula. We talked about this last week, and I said that the shades that I saw in the picture didn't seem to be for me, but here you can see all of the, is this all of the shades? 24 new shades. I feel like this is probably all of the shades. There's some really, really pretty shades in here. They are releasing, oh, they're already available, because they launched on the 26th. So they're already available. I think they look pretty, and I will say, just looking at this matte formula, it looks like the kind of matte formula that I appreciate, which is like a comfort matte formula, and it looks pretty. Some of the shades look really cute. I'm not gonna go out of my way to order some lipsticks right now, but if these come to Ulta and I can see them in store, maybe I could be persuaded to buy some of these. I did get a bunch of comments from you last time when I talked about these Kylie lipsticks, that you were saying that her bullet lipstick formula was your absolute favorite, and that you have been like saving the ones she had before for years and years, still using them because you like them so much. So I guess you'll be super excited to see that there are new ones coming now. Ooh, there are also some liquid lipsticks coming from Glossier. These are the G Suit liquid lipsticks. I like the packaging of these. I think the packaging is really, really pretty. They're able to do the millennial pink that they usually do, but at the same time, they're showing the color really sleekly at the bottom with like a little frosted moment. I like that. I think it looks super cute, and the top has the Glossier logo. I have no idea about the shade range really, because I can't see it in this picture right here, but this again is one of those things, if I see it in store and I'm able to swatch them, I can definitely be persuaded. But Glossier is not one of those brands that I'm keeping my eye open for all the news that is coming, but it's also a brand that, like, I think they have decent products, but their aesthetic isn't necessarily what I go for. I mean, you can see, am I a Glossier girl in this? No, I'm not. Oh, Lisa Eldridge released her skincare line as well. It is a skin enhancing treatment cleanser, a skin and makeup enhancing mist, and a gentle cleansing and exfoliating cloths. I am not really in the market for skincare right now. I am using skincare that I'm really enjoying, that's working really good for me, and I don't see myself trying out new skincare right now. I'm also in a very fortunate position where I do get some skincare sent to me as PR. So when I buy skincare, it's usually me repurchasing something that I've really been enjoying and going through. I have not been trying that many new things as of late, unless it has been from Glow Recipe, and I also really love Peach and Lily. Those are two brands that I'm like picking up stuff from if they're releasing something new, because I really like the brand. But I don't need to be trying out everything that's being released, and skincare is not as much of a love as makeup is. Really do like Lisa Eldridge's makeup though. I don't know if she released any makeup right now or if it's only skincare, but I think if you're a big fan of her brand, you might be a big fan of this as well. Let me know what you think. There is a new face palette available from Hourglass. This is the Diffused Rose. So this is an ambient lighting limited edition palette for $67. There is a finishing powder, a strobe lightning, which is a highlighter, and then there is a let me think. There is a glowy blush, a finishing powder, and a highlighter in this one. They just have their names for it. I think this looks really pretty. I think it's smart for them to do the powders and the blush and skip the bronzer. It still is leaning pretty light, but I think this looks pretty cute. I hope they come up with something similar, leaning a little bit more on the darker side as well, because I feel like this is a palette that I could be using, and someone slightly darker than me and someone slightly lighter than me. But if you have a dark tan deep skin tone, I don't think that this might be for you. So I hope they come up with other versions of that in the future as well. I will link it down below in case you're interested, because I know a bunch of you are ride or die Hourglass fans, so you might be super intrigued by that one. Let us also talk about this one. This is from Essence, and I thought this was very interesting when you look at the swatches. This is the Baby Got Bronze Bronzing Sticks, 3 different colors, but look at that swatch in the middle. It looks a little green almost, which if you have olive skin, you're probably vibrating in your seat right now, just being super excited about that. So I will say the one that's in the middle, because it says that moon dust, cool undertone for fair light skin tones, cinnamon spice, warm golden undertone for light to medium. Is it a warm golden based on what I don't know, or maybe that's the cool undertone is the one that's green. I don't know really. And then you have the Maca Me Crazy, warm golden undertone for tan to deep skin tones. I find it really hard to understand if these swatches are real or photoshopped or what's really going on here. But I do think that if this is indeed a contour that leans a little bit olive, I think a bunch of people would be excited about that, because I have heard from you that it's really, really hard to find contour and bronzing products that have a olive undertone. So do check that out. Maybe that could be for you. I think that's going to be the last thing that we talk about. Oh, one more thing. I don't know much about this, but I do have a sneak peek of the new palette from Clionadh. I love Cleona, and I'm so excited about this. And this is the new palette. It is nearly ready to go. And I think they had a little game where people could guess what the palette was named, and I think that someone guessed it correctly. It is being Deep Sea Treasures. Yeah, that is the name of the palettes. I have no idea how this palette is going to look on the inside. Absolutely no idea. I know that the palettes that they came out with a long time ago, I actually did work with Cleona. We're talking like 5 years ago, and I created a little lookbook with like makeup tutorials for those palettes, and those were hand painted. And I'm wondering if this palette, if the cover is painted by them and then maybe printed on, because those were hand painted on the palette, but this is a little bit more elaborated. So I'm wondering if this is painted by them, but then they printed it on the palette. I'm not 100% sure, or maybe they used an artist. What I'm hoping for, and this is me hoping. I love Clionadh. I do have a code with Clionadh. My code is Angelica. It's Angelica pretty much everywhere. And I have been using Clionadh for years and years and years and years, way before they started doing their stained glass shadows that they got a big reputation for doing the multichromes. They make amazing eyeshadow formulas, not just the multichromes. Their mattes were great, their shimmers were great, their duochromes were great, and what I'm hoping to see in this palette is a return of some of those formulas. I know that they have talked about the matte formulas. The reason why they don't do those, I don't know if they discontinued all of them, but the reason that they didn't do them in palettes is because they were a little unstable in palettes. And I really, really, really hope that they're able to figure that out, because that formula is great. And I would love for Cleona to be able to come out with a palette that has a variety of textures. I'm super excited about this. Let us see what they're saying about coming soon. That's all it says. Coming soon. Okay, I don't know what that means. What is soon? Is it like 2 weeks? Is it like 2 years? Nobody knows. Okay, let me go back. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. I am gonna sit down and edit this one now over a little bit of ramen soup. The weather is wonderful, so I'm actually gonna head to the pool. Can't believe that I am able to go back to having, you know, my little pool sessions in the afternoons or around lunch. I hope you're having an absolutely amazing day. I would love to hear your thoughts down below about all of these releases, if there's anything you're interested in, if there's anything that you're skipping on, and yeah, I will see you again on Monday for a new video. Bye!